Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xa Talk Show. Today is 2019, November 22nd, Friday, 6:47 p.m. San Francisco time. And good morning, welcome, Emily. Good morning, Nabi. So we got 5 people watching, and two of them are in the chat. So Emily says, now Emily is a Emacs hacker and a Lisp hacker. So now since she's here, I'm thinking maybe we should do some Emacs Lisp. And Nabi has a question. Nabi is wondering whether Emacs Lisp, how is it different from Lisp? Well, that's that depends on what you mean. Like, okay, so Emacs Lisp. So in Lisp, so I can explain that a little bit. The Lisp family of languages, the lineage of Lisp. So let's see what does Emily says. From certain implementations, yes, Emacs Lisp has all the Emacs functions for buffers act built in, and I believe it's Lisp 1.5 based. So basically, variables and functions have the same namespace. Yes, that is true. Good morning. So I am. Let me give you. Emily probably already knows, but let me talk about the Lisp family of languages. Okay. Well. Okay. Let's talk about that a little bit. Then, good morning, Zoomwelt. Some topics you might cover: philosophy, keyboard stuff, JavaScript, millennium problems. Your thoughts on C and C++. Okay. Okay, in general, you just like come in, just post one thing, like one thing you want to ask, instead of like, like I got people suggesting to me topics. It's not like I don't have topics. I mean, like I do have all those topics, but like it's at the moment you want one specific thing. That's what I need. Like, if you, it's more in particular, if you guys are interested in one specific topic, then uh, we can. Then my mouth started to fly, but as opposed to like, oh, Xa needs a topic, then let's suggest some general, that doesn't really help. So anyway, so yeah, so let's go to so Xa Li, proliferation of languages. So that is the topic. Well, that is the article where I have the Lisp lineage. Okay, so here you can see a historical chart of Lisp families of languages. So in the beginning you have Lisp 1 and 1.5, then MacLisp, then Interlisp, then Lisp Machine Lisp, Scheme, and Neo, and Common Lisp, and Lisp, and so on. So, but in general, in today, let's say from year 2000, okay, that's a good time to begin for today's people. So in general, you have Common Lisp, okay, and Scheme Lisp, okay, and then you have Emacs Lisp, okay, and then you have, in the past 10 years, you have Clojure. That's basically the four that is still mostly used. Okay, let me repeat: Common Lisp, Scheme Lisp, Emacs Lisp, and Clojure Lisp. Okay, these four. That's relevant to today's people. And Clojure is industrial. Clojure Lisp is Java based on JVM. I talked about Clojure Lisp many times. So in order to run Clojure, you have to start, you have to install the Java Enterprise Edition, the Java something standard edition, the Java fuck. And then Clojure is intimately intertwined with Java. And Clojure Lisp is by far, it's one of the Lisp that's different from all the other Lisps. In fact, you could say it doesn't respect much of the Lisp tradition. So in many aspects, it deviates greatly. For example, you don't even have cons anymore. You don't have, cons. You don't have vectors versus list. Typically in common Lisp, scheme Lisp, Emac Lisp, you have vectors, you have lists, you have, but in Clojure, you don't have that anymore. You have instead of that you have interfaces. Then you have anyway Clojure. So, but if you want to get a job, if you want to eat, if you want to put butter and bread on your table, Clojure is the one you need to go to. Okay, not common Lisp, no money, no money there. Scheme Lisp, no money there. Emac Lisp, you're gonna be a hobo if you do Emac Lisp. Okay, so so Clojure is your go-to language if you wanna make a living coding Lisp. Okay, let me check on myself. Am I alive? Okay, I'm alive and I'm well. Alive and seems I'm well. Okay, that's good. So that's Clojure Lisp. Now let's talk about common Lisp, scheme Lisp, and Emac Lisp. Let's first of all let's talk about scheme Lisp. Scheme Lisp is now scheme Lisp has a few branches. Okay, the most basically if you want to there's Racket. Okay, Racket basically just Racket. There's also GNU Guile, there's New Lisp. You can basically ignore all that. So in Scheme Lisp, basically you just have Scheme R6RS, Scheme R R6RS, something like that. Okay, that's the name for the Scheme standard. Okay, they call it R6RS, yes, indeed. Every version. So before it's R4RS, then R5RS, then R6RS. R6RS is the current scheme Lisp standard. Okay, and you can read the spec. The full name of R something RS is the revised report on the algorithmic language scheme, idiotic name, but that name stuck. Okay, that name became part of the code. You just say R6RS, or it's kind of a pun in the beginning because I forgot what is based on the revised report on the language scheme. Anyway, so back in year 2K, back in 1999, I read like 60% of the R4RS scheme spec, back then. So this is 20 years ago, and now they have, the history of scheme is one big topic because in the sense of there's lots of war and fight. That like each one clawing each other's eyes out. Bloody history of the scheme language in the past 20 years. When R5 R6 R5RS, the scheme standard came out, people fight. There's big issues. Like if you guys are nerds, you guys are familiar with the situation. People fight all over the place. Hello, beautiful people. Good morning. Thank you for coming by. It's late in Germany and UK, and Emily, and hello, beautiful people. So it's what time is it there? Let's see. Let's see. Saw clock. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock in the morning. And Emily is not asleep yet. Good morning, Alan. Good morning to California. Good morning to Irvine. Good morning to Florida. Good morning to United Kingdom, and good morning to not Germany, but it's the Prague, Czech, Czech Republic. So anyway, scheme Lisp. Okay, scheme Lisp. The two major branch of scheme Lisp relevant for today's people is you have R6RS, or you have the Racket scheme. Okay, Racket scheme. Let's go here. Okay, so there you have the Racket scheme. Anyway, that's schemes. If you do scheme is pretty much used limited to academia. So if you are, if you are a PhD student living in poverty, or if you are a professor, that kind of, you do scheme. Nowhere else is scheme is tail recursion in some remote planet. Okay, since 20 years ago, and they still are. Nobody give a fuck about scheme. Now, common Lisp is dead. Okay, except Emily. Emily is using it. Common Lisp, you will go nowhere. Common Lisp is dead. It's been dead for a while. So Common Lisp and Common Lisp is crap. Okay, Common Lisp is crap. It's the worst Lisp among the Lisp among between Common Lisp, Scheme Lisp, or Clojure. Kind of. Okay, I don't like Clojure because Clojure is tied with Java, so it would be hard to. But if you ask my opinion on the language design itself, regardless of the environment, the community, the people, and so on, Scheme Lisp, Clojure is very good. Okay. Anyway, it's hard to say because depends on what you mean. So anyway, Common Lisp is dead. Scheme is dead. Now there is Emac Lisp, and Clojure is good for if you want to make money. You might have a chance. For each Clojure job, there are some Clojure jobs in San Francisco. There are some, but for each Clojure job, you have 1,000 Python jobs, 1,000 Ruby jobs, 1,000 Golang jobs, 1,000 C++ jobs. Okay, that's the situation of Clojure Lisp. But anyway, what about Emac Lisp? Emac Lisp is it came from Mac Lisp. Okay, Emac Lisp. If you talk about the lineage, it came from Mac Lisp, which so for today's people, it's kind of uh, share many characteristics with Common Lisp. Okay, not Scheme Lisp, but share with many characteristics of Common Lisp. But however, Emac Lisp is just a scripting language. It's not a full-featured programming language. It's in fact, you compare to all the other Lisp, Clojure, Common Lisp, Scheme, you can write real-world applications for millions of people to use. In fact, there are systems written in Common Lisp still used today, and there are systems written in Scheme Lisp still used today. But yes, there are, and there are systems used in Clojure in many companies today, quite a few companies. So, but for Emac Lisp, there's no such thing. For Emac Lisp, it's basically a small scripting language. If you use Emacs, you code in Emacs, you write Emac Lisp. That's it. Don't listen to the Emacs phonetics say. Okay, Emacs. If you do Emacs, you live in the Emacs phonetic, the well of the Emacs phonetics. then you will begin to believe, oh, Emacs Lisp, it's used everywhere. It's used to make a coffee machine. It's used to control dildos. It's used to do IRC. You can do chat. You can this or that crap. Okay. In real life, if you want to actually be concerned about the reality, Emac Lisp is nothing. It's nothing. It's like nothing. Not in terms of real world applications. If Emac Lisp score is 10, then Common Lisp, Scheme Lisp, Clojure, their score will be 1,000. Okay, so Emac Lisp is nothing. So that is my opinion about that topic. What is this GNU Gaia? Okay, GNU Gaia. Well, Nabby Young. You are being seduced into the dark universe of the Lisp. All these questions matters a shit, really. But okay, but if you want to know, so if you are, I know, you told us you are like trying to get into. I mean, you work in a gaming company, but you are a beginner programmer, so you are trying to get into to become a real programmer, something like that, right? So these questions, doesn't, just study Python, okay? Python, Golang, C++, or C, okay? You study one of those, or even Java, then you're good to go. This is going nowhere. Okay. Well, if you want to hang out with us, yeah, Lisp. Okay. So, but the question about GNU GUI, what is it? GNU GUI is a implementation of Scheme. Okay, basically, it's the GNU GUI is Scheme basically. It's an implementation of Scheme, and it's one of the worst implementation of Scheme. That is what GNU GUI is. Okay, I think that's about the Lisp. So I have tons of Lisp articles, and I did two full video about Lisp, which is a kind of. So I mean, for those people who are interested in Lisp, I would recommend watch those two videos because each one is like 90 minutes, and those are pretty good. So that's if you really are really interested in this. So Xali, there are two videos. I talk in depth about this. Let me just show it. Okay, so there is one, but they are kind of advanced. They are for Lisp fans. Okay, so one of them is this one. Let's go to more in YouTube. Let's go to YouTube. Yeah, wait. So anyway, so we end up talking about Lisp, which is a topic I talk too often. I wasn't, the it's so we are talking about Lisp, which is a topic I talk too often. Anyway, so I have two videos, and those are kind of for Lisp programmers. That is, if you already program Lisp for a year or two, then you might find it interesting. So one of them is this one, 2019, July 19th, on Lisp syntax, S expression, meta expression, Mathematica, and meaning of sugar syntax. Okay, so Emily, did you watch that one? So that's one of them, and the other one is okay. This one, well, I did so many Lisp YouTube videos, so let's stop. But usually I'm addressing people who already program Lisp. Hold on a second. So anyway, I did a lot of videos on Lisp, and I also have a beginner's introduction to Emac Lisp. You can find it on my YouTube. So that's about Lisp. That's kind of the non-technical intro to the Lisp families. Okay, I use Python and C Sharp every day at work. Okay, yeah, great. Yes, Emac Lisp, this is all new to me. Okay, I will avoid GNU GUI. Oh yeah, GNU GUI, you don't need to do it. Yeah, Emac Lisp is kind of okay. Anyway, so this is a talk show. Okay, not very serious stuff. So let's see what are people saying. So some topics you might zoom out. I don't know, naming random things off top of my head. Okay, so Unix philosophy. Okay, I talked about that too many times. but I use Emac list, and I'm not a hobo, so road. Okay, yeah, Emily is special. Of course, many of these coders, they also, they do, they have a job. Uh, and okay, Lisp. So we were talking in on YouTube about national anthems. Okay, yep, in Germany it's the same time as in the countries I'm from. Czech Republic. Dobry den. What does that mean, Dobry den? Some punches for the fields. And you have 1 million job in JavaScript. Yeah, indeed. Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated. That's the perfect. That's a perfection. That's a Borg. Perfection. Join the horde. What is this GNU Gaia? So what is the next topic? Shall we like what? Shall we do random, or we have lots of random things on the chat. Fascinating stuff. Panera has coffee refills and and Wi-Fi. Okay, that's a chain restaurant in Florida area, I suppose. And you can see they make this food. What is this thing? This is kind of half sandwich, half Subway. Okay, I cannot tell. It's like Mexican based. Uh, and we were talking about national anthems. Actually, I was talking about national anthems. So I was saying Russian anthem is beautiful, and China's national anthem is crap. Taiwan's national anthem is even more crap. It's the worst shit. It's the worst tune in the universe. And French's national anthem is beautiful. Okay, French. How I know French national anthem? Because back in 1981 or so, 1978 or something like that. You have video games, arcade video games, and one of the game they they begin by playing this tune, and later on I learned that's French national anthem. There's a space invader shooting game. Should I bring that up? Should I actually find that arcade video? So French national anthem, how does it go? Anyway, and American's national anthem, the Star and Stripes, it's pretty good. Canadian is okay. Oh, Canada, dun 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 dun. Then United Kingdom, God saves the Queen. God saves the Queen, or something like that. Save or saves. God saves. It must be saves. Oh, save. Okay, this is so. God is considered plural or something like that. Or uncountable infinity. God save the Queen. Okay, that tune I didn't, never get into me. I don't remember the UK's national anthem, but oh my God, Russian. Now you have to look. Now let's hear the Russian national anthem. Okay, Dobry den means good day and is used as a greeting in Czech Republic. Okay, Dobry den. Okay, how do you? Well, I have to look up how do you pronounce that. Dobry den. Config technical question. How do you set up your directories of miscellaneous script? Bash, Elisp. Well, I don't have a particular system or anything like that. How do you set up your directories of miscellaneous script? Yeah, it's just all over the place. Those kind of things. Every time you try to organize, um, it tends to fall apart. There's really no one way to organize. Like, I mean, I think you are saying, how do you organize all your miscellaneous scripts? I don't think there's a way. In general, there is no way to organize your files. Like each person, your mom, everyone, non-programmers, you have a bunch of files. And then programmers, you also have a bunch of files in your life. So from what I see, for most people, there's no way just to organize them. And so therefore today the most popular way is like just random. You just put in a directory. You rely on, starting like 10 years ago, you rely on the Apple SpotLight search, which I never used. I turned off. Okay, so same thing with Microsoft. They started to have search box that will search all your files on your system, on the whole entire hard disk. The way they do that, okay, then maybe we can talk about the history of that. So in the 1990s or early 2000, yeah, 1990s and 2000s, for a programmer, you organize your files into directories hierarchy. You at least you try to. Okay. Well, compared to back then, compared to today, today you have 100 times more files. But anyway, back then you try to organize into a hierarchy. So if you go to programmers forum, programmers makers, they people tends to tell you how to do that, things like that. And if you want, usually you use grep, the Unix tool grep, to find a particular word or phrase in your files, to find the file you want. Now this is in 1990s and 2000s, which is what I still do. So I have script to find. Okay, let me show you. Well, I can either use grep, in shell, grep grep for something that you okay. So you need to call this command XOR interactive abbrev, then type grep. Okay, so now you get this syntax, which is grep recursively. What an idiotic phrase! Grep recursively -r. Then F for capital F is for use the Perl syntax or use the Perl regular expression. I think something like that. Okay. Then you type a string, then dash dash include, then star HTML. That means you grep for all files ending in HTML. Then you give a directory. So this is the syntax to find all strings in a directory. That's a grep syntax. You can do that. So let's change the directory to the current directory, and let's just grab Haskell. Let's see what we found. Okay, you got answers here. Okay, just switch here. So you got answers. They don't highlight it properly. So for example, search Haskell. So you got Haskell. So that's their occurrence. So in my talk show, apparently Haskell is mentioned frequently. Let's do it again. I mean Haskell. Okay, you see in my talk show, Haskell is mentioned frequently as a dramatic word to diss the nerds. Okay, not because I love Haskell. So every time I mention Haskell, is a representation of the idiocy of the tech geeking nerds. Haskell. Okay, that's one way to do it. Grab. Then you close this. Then I can do. So XOR Lisp mod. Okay, so I call it, the command is called, you can see it here, XOR find text. Okay, so I call it and type Haskell and press enter and type a directory path and type the file name regular expression .html. Okay, then there it is, magnify. It's the same result but presented in a different format. So you can see in this file I have one mention of Haskell, and in this file I have, in this file, I have like three mentions of Haskell. So I can just, so that's occurrences of Haskell in my XOR talk show. And that command, XOR find.el, is written in Lisp entirely, pure Lisp. So you can use it on Windows, on Mac, on Linux. It does not depend on the Unix grep tool. So actually, I talked about this a few times. So let's see. So you can see the source code right here. So here is the command, XOR find text, and here is the source code. And this package you can download on MailPass. So you just go here. That's my website for it, and you can go there and you can download on MailPass. And so that's done in Emac Lisp. And then if I want to, I can call this Golang script. So type find Go. So this is a Golang script, and it's 187 lines. So I want to search. So for example, let's do the same thing. I want to search Haskell. Now this has the feature where you can search for multiple words or regular expression in one shot. So let's type Haskell there. And I want to search in the directory, XOR talk show directory. So let's put the path here. So XOR talk show, copy the path, close it, select all, paste, and okay, here's the path I want to search. I want to search for this word, Haskell. Okay, run it. So this is Golang script running. So here's the result. Magnify, go to the top. It's not colored. Now let's call XOR output, XOR find output mod. Now so I have them colored, just like the output in my Emacs find XOR find.el, Emac Lisp script. So this is the output of Golang. So you see, so that's grep. That's find the string. That's how people used to find a word in your thousands of files. So this method is used throughout 1990s and 2000s. However, beginning around 2005, Apple began the SpotLight. Okay, so that means you type any word. It's kind of like grep, but actually better. Okay, let me explain why it's better. So you type a word. You can type Haskell here. I don't want to do it. I don't want to use the. In fact, I turned it off. So anyway, but you can. I don't want to do it. Okay, so cancel. So Mac began this first, SpotLight. Then it came to Windows. So on Windows, you hit the Windows key, then you can start to type something. That searches your entire drive, something like that. How does the Apple do it? How does SpotLight or Windows search do? Well, they, unlike grep, okay, grep is searching in real time. So it actually, when you try to search Haskell, it actually opens each and every file to see that word is in it, then show the result. But that is not the case with the SpotLight. What the SpotLight do is that, first of all, it in short, it pre-grabs everything, pre-grab. So it searches, all your entire, every time you create a file, there's a process in the background that runs, that checks that in database technology, you say it index your files. So what does that mean? Basically, it read every file you ever created at the same time when you create them. So it reads a file and it basically index every word in the file. Then it's kind of like a database. So it organizes, it creates basically a kind of a structure. So for example, Haskell word, it creates a database kind of structure. For example, the Haskell word appears in this file, this file, this file, this file. It does this. This is called indexing. So it just do it in the background without you even begin to use Spotlight. So then, for example, the word Lisp appears in this file, this file, things like that. The word mom appears in these files. Okay, the word something your bedroom photos appear in these files. So it does this in the background index. So when you actually want to search something, you type it shows the result right away, like almost instantaneously. You type Haskell, all the files that contains the word shows instantaneously. So it's like, so you don't have to wait for it to open each and every of your gigabytes of files. So that is what this Spotlight do. I'm simplifying things. Actually, there's more going behind the scenes because, for example, Spotlight, this kind of technology, they will not just search for text files. So, for example, if you have a video file, typically you also have keywords and stuff. And what if you have HTML files? For example, if I grep for HTML, if I grep for the word title, then almost every HTML file will contain it. But that may not be what I want because, let's say, for example, I search for the word body. I want to find a document where I was talking about, let's say, body parts. Okay. So I want to find a file. I want to find, I remember last year I wrote something about body, something. Okay. I want to find it. And I remember it's a HTML file. So if I do grep, like I did before, then every HTML file will show up because every HTML file contains the word body. You see? Well, because body is part of the HTML tag. So that is a problem. So in Yuan Huang, oh, good morning, and good morning, George. We started to have, people from different region in the globe coming on. That's a good thing. Good morning, all these people from China and everywhere. Where are you guys from? China and Taiwan or Japan or Perth in Australia or monad. Okay, I don't know what is a monad. Not in a way I can do an explanation. Yeah, Spotlight was Quicksilver, exactly. It is Quicksilver that began this movement. Anyway, let me finish the Spotlight, how they do things. So Spotlight, they index your files, but when they index, they don't just do a dumb, grep, like just by words. For example, they have a for example, when Spotlight indexer sees a HTML file, it will be smart enough to index only the content of the file. For example, in this file HTML, it just index these words, not the tags, not the tags, not the JavaScript code, not the add code, things like that. So similarly for image files, for PDF files, for PDF file is very complex, the format. So for Microsoft Word files, for Excel files, for image, movie files, audio files, each one of them, you have like hundreds of different file formats. So each one of them, they have kind of a spec, they have a way to tell which part is actual content, which part is the markup or the meta info or things like that. So the Spotlight indexer has a set of all these complex file formats, so it understands when it tries to index file, it will know, okay, what to actually index, what to ignore. So it is actually a fairly complex system, because you have to know hundreds of file formats on how to index them. That's Spotlight. So I believe Microsoft kind of just copied it. Well, I don't know, technically, I mean, I don't mean they copy it the code. I mean they copied the idea. I mean the idea is not very complex. Basically, when you want to do this indexing all your files, basically you automatically think of this. So it began in Quicksilver. I don't think. Well, Quicksilver doesn't actually index files, does it? But anyway, the idea. But anyway, so SpotLight on the Apple is this. I believe it's kind of the first, or at least the first, file uh, global, file system indexing utility. Then it came to Windows. Then the fucking Linux, of course, it comes to Linux too. Linux, the most innovative system. Okay, yeah, that's about that. Emily, are you still here? Are you like turned off? What's your opinion on the career in cybersecurity? 今天中文今天好多呀，今天不少。Saga, good morning. Castle Wu. I wanted to do a Chinese version. 中文沙沙评论，沙沙评论天下。I wanted to do a Chinese, but for the past 3 months or 4 months, I've been stuck in a morning schedule because of bot. Well, it's which is great. It so happens I stuck with the morning schedule, and so it's very convenient for European peoples. But I noticed the Russian people, Russian, and many. I used to have a lot Australian. For some reason, Australian people, you don't see them anymore. So yeah, I think I might do variety of schedules. That would be good. So Alan and so actually, I just rambled to myself for 40 minutes. I think yes. I'm getting good at time. I can guess how long I've been talking. I've been just like rambled for 40 minutes. So is am I doing something interesting? And Bart, well, Bart is probably gonna complain tomorrow. Sir, did you do that on purpose? You. Anyway, Bart is great. Bart is great. Okay. Um. Anyway, I so what? So I was going to do. Okay, so uh, did I miss anything? Like anything I wanted? Okay, so I was talking about Spotlight and Microsoft Search because I was talking about how people organize files. Yeah, so Alan was, mentioning, how do you organize your miscellaneous script? Then I generalized that question into how do people organize their files? Do you put related things in a directory, like for example about your personal love life, everything in a directory, or do you put them in like videos are in one directory, music is in one directory, like how do people do? So my answer to that question is, from my observation, there's no general solution. In fact, if you look at what people do, basically it's just chaos. Now, among programmers, I would say 90%, 99% is also chaos. You just put file wherever. But there are like I think 1 in 1,000, 1 in 10,000 programmers. Some of them, like possibly Emily. Okay, so you might have a system like you stick to some kind of your system to organize your files. So I used to do that as well. And another person I know doing that is John Wigley, who is the current Emacs maintainer. Okay, John Wigley. He's very popular. He's on YouTube. He's very popular. You can see him. So, and he's also a Haskell coder, and he's also doing COG, the proof, so-called assistant proof system. Math. So John Wigley, he also is a person who organized all his files in certain strict manner according to, he's got his own system. I'm that type too. I used to do that, but I don't do it now because for many reasons. Anyway, so we were talking about how people organize files, and then I started to talk about Spotlight technology and Microsoft Search. So for vast majority of people, you just use that because that is actually more natural, because most people, you don't think for 100 hours to about how to organize things. You just leave. You just leave, and when you have a file, just put it somewhere. um, yeah, that's what I do. So at least that's my answer to that question. Okay, that's one topic, I guess. Okay, so that's some one topic of my thoughts. So let's see, Alan. Hello, beautiful people, and Nabi. Can you explain what is monad is on stream? No, I cannot, because I don't really know that well to actually explain it. Uh, I did flame it multiple times, but you can only go so far. Monad. What is monad? Monad is something the Haskellers talk about every day nonstop. Uh, so good morning, George. Yue Wang, Bobby Hill. Hello from call Mr. Lee. Bobby Hill, where you from? Gasso Wu. Good morning. Yue Wang, China. So Yue Wang is from China. And Bobby Hill, what's your opinion on a career in cybersecurity? So cybersecurity, or in general, people just say security. So where are you from, Bobby? So security, it's a kind of a new profession starting around 2000s, basically. Uh, I don't know much about it. So, yeah, of course, and you can make a living with that, and cryptography, crypto analysis, and along with that, Bitcoin, the lots of, uh, and Bitcoin, and what's that called? The new technology where you uh, chain, blockchain. So that's the emerging technology, and I think Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and things like that. They are going to stay, for sure, and they are going to. I think they are critical. So I think they are pretty big. And the security, one of the reasons security becomes big is because it becomes a profession, and more than a profession. It's big because hacking, because security becomes basically more and more and more important. You can hack into government systems, company secret. Basically, the gist of that is money. It all comes down to money. So you can bank, for example, bank security. It's all related to that. That's why security becomes bigger and bigger. Now, security is a general term. Okay, there's no one definition. It's very broad. So almost everything becomes security issue now. You can call anything security. So it's kind of abused. So yeah, you can get a career in that. You study that. Xuan Bao, oh my God, another Chinese guy. Hi, Xa, what do you think of Andrew Yang? Andrew Yang. I don't really, among the, he's okay, I guess he's okay, but his idea, okay, among the United States presidential candidates 2020. So you have, of course, you have Trump, which is probably likely to win. Then you have the Democratic Party, and it's kind of a mess. The Democratic Party with their social justice fuck. It's extreme mess. Okay, and so among these people, among the candidate, my favorite. Okay, I can say my favorite. I know one. I will sanction. I approve for sure. Absolutely. In fact, not just I approve. I wholeheartedly support is Gabbard. Okay, Tulsi Gabbard. She is a great person. She is she loves her country, my country. Okay, she she has she's honest. She has experience in military and in government. She's been a senator or something in for Hawaii, yeah, at least for like 10 years or 5 or 10 years, and she's in the military serving the country for 10 years or so, and she is pretty honest. She is for the people, us, and she is one of her theme is to stop the war machine. America, for reasons, okay, for reasons, it's not, you cannot explain simply. America, for reasons, is a country where we invade and rob any other country. you know that's what we do. We bomb them to free them. That's what we do. Are they democracy? Oh, they are not democracy. Bomb them. Grab their oil. That's what we do. America. So Tulsi is trying to change that. Stop spending $1 billion to do that. Kill 600,000 people in Iraq. That's what we did. Iraq war, 600,000 civilians dead. Who do they cry to? So that's America. Okay, and among Americans, in particular white Americans, when you talk about America, it's pretty much you're talking about white American. Okay, even though technically, oh, we have like 40% blacks and we are actually multicultural. I'm Chinese. We are actually multicultural. It's crap. Okay, crap. America. When you talk about America, like you can ask. One way to judge what one way to think whether what I said is true is by simply asking foreign people, like all the people around outside America. You ask them, what do you think of America? Typically, you don't, they're basically they are thinking white people. They don't think when they think American, they don't think black or Chinese or some or Indian. That's not the case. It's just white people. And today, the white people, again, the fuckheads, are the social justice type of people, the social justice and the Democratic Party people. Most, some, at least some of them, the extreme ones, such as the Elizabeth fuck, the AOC fuck. They talk about immigration and stuff. They talk about race every day. And women. Oh, women. We must help women. They talk about that so that they become more and more powerful. That's it. Okay, they are the fuckheads today. Of course, on the other side, you also have hawks. You used to be American conservatives like George W. Bush, but today they has less power. The most power is from the Google. Basically, they are tied with Google, Facebook, Twitter. They are all tied, and with all the major publications, New York Times, basically every news publications. They rule, they control, the thought flow. They start to do censorship. It's quite amazing. America. Imagine the speech, freedom of speech. It's the fundamental principle, the founding principle, one of the founding principle of America. And now the fucking Democratic fuckheads, the social justice fuckheads, they directly and explicitly say that they don't want that. Their excuse is, oh, we don't want hate speech. We want free speech. It's good, but we don't want hate speech. The fuckheads. They I think we should do what we can to eliminate those people. So that we get a better society. That is me, Chinese, Mexican, black people, poor people, including women. Okay, woman, the not the white, the rich $1 billion white women. Okay, but the poor people, everyday woman, we will get a better life. That's my opinion. To not support and basically put criminals in jail. And I believe those many of today's Democratic Party leaders that are criminals. That is my opinion. Okay, political opinion. Okay, so politics. So anyway, back to the topic about the so presidential candidates. We have several people. So Tulsi Gabbard, I support very much. She is basically the only one I truly support because I truly believe all things considered. I want to, that's typically I try to do. I consider from all things, not just hot button topics or oh, do you support abortion? Are you pro life or are you the pro choice? Stupid jargons. And or are you pro racism or are you not pro racism? you know, Political hot topic. Are you pro gun or are you not pro gun? Do you think we should kill people? The fucking idiocy, the American way. Has become that and worse. So anyway, so all things considered, Tulsi Gabbard, I fully believe she is great. Okay, she's great for us, for people, and she's also great for the world. Okay. Now other candidates. Now Andrew Young. Okay, Andrew Young. He, I don't find his ideas or any I don't find any interest in whatever he does. He's just another candidate running for president. He think, just like every candidate, he think he's got some better ideas, but I don't think so. Why? Okay, let me tell you why. Andrew Young, his thing, for his marketing, his idea, his the thing that he tries to sell is basically, he's a nerd. Okay, he's like us. He's a programmer. He came from the tech industry background, AI. So in his brain, I know nerds. Okay, I'm a nerd. I criticize nerds often. So from what I see, Andrew Young, his brain, he's got nothing. He's very typical of technology, tech nerds. He thinks just like tech nerds thinks. Tech nerds, in my opinion, don't know nothing about society. Don't know how society grows. Don't know what people do. They don't know. They don't know. Understand nothing. Okay, so Andrew Young, in my eyes, is exactly that. No different from any other Joe nerds among us. Okay, that's my opinion. So Andrew Young, his opinion, I've seen his videos. He talk about his ideas. His $1,000, free. One of his selling point is that he wants to give each person $1,000 a month. Because he believes that the AI technology will take jobs away. He believes so. Therefore, we should start to move into the idea of there's this idea of free wage, free wage. There's a term I forgot what was that. Basically, the idea is that sometimes in the future, every citizen, nobody has to work. You just get money for free. Because the technology. I mean, at least from a utopian point of view, the technology is good enough so that it provides food for everyone. Nobody have to work. You just, well, you do things to better society in some way. So, but you don't have to, for basic needs like food, you don't have to work anymore. That's the utopian idea. So Andrew Young Andrew Yang is start to that start to push that idea, beginning by giving every person $1,000 a month. In my opinion, that's idiotic. Okay, it's not, and I don't think it's not going to work. Well, I don't know for nobody know for sure. This kind of thing. No, nobody on earth can know this whether it will work well for sure or not. Nobody. Okay, I can tell you for sure. I can tell you. Doesn't you might watch some AI experts, some academia professor on AIs. They all have opinions, but these kind of things nobody know for sure. So anyway, Andrew Yang, so his idea about how AI is gonna take over, therefore we need to do something. We need to try to do something so the automation doesn't make the country chaotic. That's basically his idea. His perception. And to me, it's that's idiotic. That's typical nerds perception of the world. I don't think. Okay. Well, so that's my opinion about Andrew Yang. I don't. Okay, maybe it'll work, but so I don't see nothing special. I don't find Andrew Yang particularly interesting to me. Okay, so but anyway, there are some other lots of other Democratic candidates. I think it's far far worse. Andrew Yang at least is neutral in a sense that he's not a like evil or bad person. He's not here to I'm going to become very rich and become the US president, and I'm going to become rich. He's not like that. Okay, Andrew Yang is at least I think honest, nerd, like a nerd, typical nerd. Okay, I think he's kind of honest. Okay, uh, as compared to many of the Democratic candidates like Elizabeth and who are the others? Okay, there's also Bernie. Okay, Bernie is kind of different. Okay, maybe we can talk about that. But Elizabeth and Kamala Harris. Okay, these are scumbags. Kamala Harris, Elizabeth something. Okay, what's her name? Elizabeth. Okay, I'm kind of like talking to myself. Just like I need to get some feedback and see what you guys are saying. Uh, Okay, so that's my opinion about Andrew Yang. He's kind of a nerd. I don't find his ideas very interesting, but at least he's okay. I think he's okay. Okay. If I don't have any particular candidates, then maybe I'll vote for Andrew Yang. That's my opinion about him. On the other hand, I must mention there's some of the other Democratic Party candidates. Elizabeth, that Honchapota, the Honchapota, Elizabeth, lie. These people, they're the white women, okay? They fucking lie through their mouth. Fuck, scumbags. And then you have the AOC, this young girl, this young fucking, self-centric, lie and creating drama just so that she can become more famous. Then there is this. Oh yeah, Hillary. Hillary is the worst criminal on earth. Hillary Clinton, the worst criminal on earth. Then you have the Berkey Beto or something, a scumbag. This I think he's from Texas. Anyways, that is my opinion about those candidates. So okay, so that's a lot politics. 10 people watching. Okay, so what? So maybe that's it for today. Oh, Yuan Wang you are a security researcher now. Okay. Uh, Message deleted by Xa Li. What? What? Why is the message deleted by Xali? Okay, I think I'm talking kind of loud. Now it's 7:58. George, why is your messages deleted by Xali? That's very strange, okay? Now, is someone hacking my Google account? George, why is all your messages says message deleted by Xali? Are you guys seeing that? Okay, so Gasso Wu, where are you from? Do you know about Keyboard IO? Yeah, of course. You haven't read my blogs. uh, you can use to control elections. Okay, I think maybe that's it for today. Neat books. Neat books. That's how you call that, Andrew Young platform. Dem's talking points. Free stuff. Orange man bad. Yeah. Oppose the globalist neoliberal agenda. Tulsi would be better. Okay, I like Tulsi, but okay. Andrew Young was groomed as a rich lawyer person. I see. Has a tech utopia nerd leftist platform. Out of touch. So George says, if I can't have Tulsi, I'll have Trump for the entertainment value. But George, you are in Australia, so you can vote. Speaking the truth, glad Xi isn't racist, voting for Yang just he's Asian. Democratic love race gender, yeah. That's the reason the social justice things ideas rise, about race gender is because those kind of things are, if you look at things, okay, those are the topic, those are the subject matters where you can, that's one of the way, those are the topics where you can get everyone involved. That is a key thing why it becomes, why the social justice extremists become so much evolved around gender and race, because those are the top, if you subject, if you like forget about politics, if you just think about what kind of subject that I can get everyone on earth involved, that would be gender and race. Okay, because everyone has a gender and race, and sex, basically, when it comes to uh, you know you know race is a eternal problem. So is gender, sex. Okay, forget about the word gender, just say sex is the proper word. Race and sex is the eternal fundamental problem of human animals. It's a problem that it depends on perspective. You may call it a problem or it's not a problem, but it's the fundamental. It's like it's something you cannot escape. Like like eating. You can stop eating. It's like eating food. If you don't do that, you die. That is why religion always revolve around eating. For example, religion, you have certain things you cannot eat, certain date you cannot eat, you are not allowed to eat, and whenever before you eat you need to pray. This is why does religion has something to do with eating often, like different religions often have to do that, because eating is a fundamental, it's a core part of human animals. You cannot escape it. Therefore, just like race and gender, okay, sex. Therefore, eating. So if you can tie your ideas or whatever to eating, then you get everyone involved. Then so that is one way religion becomes revolved around. You have like pray before eating, things like that, and something you are not allowed to eat, and some other day you may be allowed to eat, and you have fasting. Certain days you have to fast, things like that, because it controls. Eating is a fundamental thing, and as a consequence, it's also a fundamental desire. You want to eat. Then comes this certain thought that tells you, oh, you can only do certain. It controls. You see, it meshes with eating, so it influences you. That is why a lot religions, they evolve around eating. In the same way, race and sex, it's the same situation. Sex nobody can avoid unless you are a monk. Which is one in a million. If we all become monks, we die. Basically, human race extinct. Okay, so but for basically everyone, you have to have sex. You cannot stop that. You cannot help it. And in fact, it's built in. It's built in because those who don't care about sex, who don't want sex, doesn't matter male or female, or those people who are gay, or doesn't matter whatever. If you don't really care about sex, you die. Those people died long time ago. This is called evolution, because you don't reproduce, you die. So it's only those people, in particular, those people fucks all the time. Guys who fuck every girl, they get more children. So therefore every man becomes like that. Same thing for women, but a bit different. Women, they need to choose the guy who is the most powerful, so they can support their children. Therefore, women likes assholes, basically, because women cannot have one baby every time they have sex. They only can have one per year, basically. So that is so they have different strategies to increase, to multiply themselves. So that is this so sex, gender, that's biological, fundamental. And race is similar. Okay, race is kind of similar. When you think about race, where does race came from? Race came from sex. Okay, race is intimately tied with sex. I have sex with some girl, we have children, we become a family. That's race in the most smallest scale. You have a race. Okay, you have you married a guy. Let's say you married a guy, you have a family. Then you have a family. You have a unit of race. So I want to, you know so we but we may have a conflict whenever there's a food scarcity, or when things like that. So that's race. So race issues is fundamental. It's something that you cannot escape. Okay. um so if you want to get everyone involved, sex, race, and food, that's kind of the things, that the subject matter you want to tie into your propaganda, or whatever you want to say, marketing. So that is why. And race issue. Okay, these issues, sex and race, okay, and even food, they are not something that can be solved. Okay, it's not something you can solve it for good, for good, because it's because it's tied to your DNA. Okay, it's tied to your DNA. So again, it depends on how you look at the problem. If you go by Eastern philosophy, Buddhism, you don't really look at this problem as a problem. In life, you don't. For example, as a human animal, it's necessary you eat every day. Maybe it's necessary. You cannot, you then you might think, oh my God, I have to eat. What? Um, my God, this is a problem. I don't really, why do we have to, have to eat? Why is the situation that we human have to eat? And why is it that we have to become old? Oh, this is a problem. I cannot deal with it. See, it's a matter of perspective. If you really think of that, there are some people, basically psychologically sick people. They do think too much like that, and they kind of perish. They become unhealthy. So the world of things, whether it's a problem or not, you don't, depends on your perspective. So if you want to look at gender or race as a problem, then it becomes worse and worse problem. It becomes a real problem. It's so that is what the social justice gang are doing. They are trying to use that to uh, sell themselves. Okay, so that's it for today. Okay, so I'm not sure I'm gonna be banned on YouTube for this. It is a possibility. Maybe no monetization. Uh, yeah, and maybe, but I'm afraid. Oh, thank you, George, for the. Please check Discord. Okay, so thank you, George, for the super chat. Let's check Discord. Oh, I need to play this. I was going to play this. Oh, thank you. Jeez. I have money. Ching, ching. I have money coming. And who is that? George, why is your post all like says deleted by XR? And people around the world will flood in the buckets. Not hello, why would it censor a message? YouTube is weird, not be weird, wearsome. Why is XR deleting my comments? Yeah, I don't know. You have been placed in timeout by owner of the video moderator. Is it fixed now? And Nabi Young. Oh, thank you guys. So let me check. Okay, maybe I bumped into it. Wait, George. What? Nabi Young. We are testing how much money it takes to float message on top. Okay, so let's see. George, go to channel, report, remove, put in user, put user. Let me try this. Okay, put user in timeout. Okay, let's try it again. Oh, I think I might, maybe that's why. Ah, sorry, George. That's happened again. I think that's why. So this, oh, so you cannot post for the next 5 minutes. I think that's what is this about. Okay, so when you put someone in timeout, that means you prevent them from posting for the next 5 minutes. Yeah, I think that's why. Okay, I think that's it. Anything else? Post. Okay, type it or type in the Discord, and I think that's it for today. Now this video, will I get banned by Google? I don't know. Okay, so but George, you are now in timeout again for 5 minutes. So just wait for it to clear. Okay. I think that's it for today. Anything else? Thank you, Alan. Ray TU, Fearmongers. Oh, hi, with Ray TU. Okay, I think let's avoid those sensitive words because I really don't want to be banned by Google. So okay, that's it for today, I think. Bye, guys. Hi, Michael Edwards. Ping on comment above. Okay, sorry, George. That for that time up, but okay. Let's see how long I've been talking now. Uh, 1 hour and 20 minutes. Let's wait for 2 minutes. 2 minutes and we close. Okay. And meanwhile, there is this Russian girl who is playing the Russian anthem. Beautiful. Wait, did I close it? Good morning, Luis Hendrik Perez. Hey, IPM. Hey, wow, I have a lot of people today. So I'm going to shut down in 5 minutes or so, in 2 minutes, in 3 minutes. So let me play this Russian girl playing Russian anthem.
Чао, я Анна, и сейчас собираюсь сыграть советский гимн. Я думаю, все знают. Окей? Советский гимн. Я думаю, все знают. Окей?
Okay, I think that's it. I don't want to play the whole thing in case the copyright, Google copyright bot gets onto me. So thank you guys for coming, and that's it for today. Bye, guys. So if you haven't already, join my Discord. Okay, you can find my Discord channel, the URL everywhere on my YouTube, on my Xa Talk Show page. Just search for Xali Discord. Bye, guys.